And he's bellowing like the bull of Bashan. I think he prefers nylon to wool, don't you?
Oh, crap! Use those legs! Legs! Big pull!
6 feet 9.5, he raised the bale. A great effort there.
Real feat of strength for Geoff this morning, because beside me here is a 6-ton Sentinel steam wagon built in 1920. Albert here, the driver's brought it. Where you brought it down from? Luton. Brought it down from Luton for us this morning, and Geoff is going to attempt to pull this. Oh! Sorry? They tell me I'm on. Here I am standing where talking to Geoff and talking to Albert. As I was going to say, I would say again, we've got a real feat of strength for Geoff Capes this morning, because this is a Sentinel 6-ton steam wagon. Albert, the driver's brought it down from Luton for us, and Geoff, 6 tons, is going to attempt to pull this. Geoff's over here just preparing, just having a chat with us there, weren't you?
Just having a chat with the engine.
That's right. Now tell me, Geoff, this is particularly difficult, isn't it, because of the way it's made?
Yeah, it's actually geared. It's actually geared to not move without the drive pistons going in, so that it can't freewheel. So you pull in the gears and the chain and everything as well. So the degree of difficulty is far greater than an ordinary lorry on the street.
Right, and how important is the old harness? That's specially made for this job, obviously.
Oh, yes. I don't think it's possible to move the machine unless you've got the right tackle.
Yeah.
And this is a common or garden harness, and it's one that's used in all the strongest man championships. And it's got a couple of tow ropes and a body harness to enable you to put all your body into it rather than just your legs. You know.
What's the technique then?
Technique is...
You've got big shoulders, of course, but I mean, there's technique to everything, isn't there?
Oh, yes. I think the first problem is to create inertia, to get the weight moving all the time. And once it's moving, it's not to stop. Because if you stop, you've got to start all over again. It's twice as difficult when you're 10 yards down the road, because we have to have a starting block on the floor so you can actually push off something, because the weight... I mean, I'm weighing about 23, 24 stone, and that weighing 6 ton. I mean, it's absolute opposites. Right. So you have to create this inertia and keep the weight moving at all times.
Right, Geoff. Let's see if you can do it then.
All right. We'll have a go anyway.
And you've never actually been beaten at this in a competition, have you, by anyone in the world?
Not lorry pulling, no.
No.
No. But it's not a normal lorry, is it?
Not quite. Beautiful thing, though, I've got to say. It might be heavy, but it's a lovely lorry built in 1920. And here we go, Geoff.
Get my frame in. My mind right. They're ready.
Amazing. Oh, it was only stopped by the block.
Stopped on the block at the end.
Amazing.
Quite difficult.
Quite.
I'd rather pull an ordinary lorry any day.
Are they easier?
Yes, because of this freewheel action.
Because this is 6 ton. What's the most you've pulled?
I think the most I've pulled is one of the steam engines, which the driver was driving Expo Steam in Peterborough. And that weighed about 12, 13 ton.
Yeah, me.
And that was on cinders, which is, again, is twice as difficult again. Because I had spikes in the bottom of my feet that time to get a grip.
Yeah. I mean, you were talking there about, sort of getting your mind right. Do you have to sort of build yourself up and get angry or whatever when you're going to do something like that?
Oh, yeah, it's no good waving at your mum in the crowd, you know. You've got to hate everybody, everything, including that, because it's it or me, and I like to win. I don't like to be beaten.
And tell me, how did you actually get into all this? Because you were an athlete once, weren't you? You used to put the shot and...
Yes, I used to put the shot for Britain for about 20 years. But people tend to forget that and think more of the razzmatazz events, such as the strongest man. But it's a question of transferring my athletic ability into something which I think is good and new and another challenge. And I think the challenge is the thing that enables me to continue in sport. Because I'm 35 this year.
Is it harder to do this than when you're an athlete?
I think the degree of difficulty, the athleticism is more like a decathlete, because we have to do 7 or 8 events in the championships rather than just putting the shot. And yes, I think the the degree of difficulty is far greater because I just used to put the shot and train for the shot only. This is far different. Like the next event would be bar bending, the next event would be lorry loading, and the next event would be hoist loading, and all sorts of other things. So it's a cross-section of all strength events. It's a rekindling effect of the old-time music hall days where the old strongman used to go around from town to town. And I think it's a great challenge anyway. I enjoy it, that's the main thing.
And how long do you say you're 35 now? How
Yeah.
long can you go on doing this sort of thing? Because it must be a great stress on your body, big as you are.
I think until I feel personally it's time to pack up, and I don't think I'm ready yet because there isn't anybody about. And I think if I can stay there and maintain my standing, then I'll pack up.
Right, Geoff, we're going to talk to you on the phone a little bit later. And now we're going to go back into the store to talk to Sarah, and she's going to talk about this lovely lorry here. Sarah.
I am indeed. Isn't that extraordinary? Geoff Capes managed to pull that steam lorry. Not only did he pull it uphill, but then he can do a full interview afterwards without even sounding breathless. Extraordinary.